Another, one of the most corrupt nations of the world is our neighboring country, Afghanistan. It is located in the north of Pakistan, northwest of our country, and it has a population of 33.3 million. We know that it really has a troubled history, which lasts over something like 4 decades. It all started in 1979 with the invasion of the Soviet Union, which was which met with resistance from Afghan Mujahideen, which included Pakistani people, and the army, and the United States of America. And as a result of the joint efforts of all these groups, Soviet Union, its troops had to withdraw, and it ultimately resulted in the downfall of this Soviet empire. But Afghanistan, in turn, continued to remain in trouble. To begin with, there was civil war, and the different groups of Mujahideen started fighting with each other. Thereafter, there was Taliban, who took over the control of most part of the country, and it is said that they were able to establish control, discipline, and rule of law in a good part of Afghanistan. There are some people who believe that it was an ideal time and a very good rule. There are others who say that it was a rule of repression. But no matter whatever be the correct understanding, which perhaps is somewhere in the middle, in between the two, this rule also did not last long, because the United States of America invaded Afghanistan, and as a consequence, there was war, and the Taliban had to retreat. And now, recently, the United States has withdrawn its forces from Afghanistan and has apparently left a system which is based on democracy and elections. But what has actually happened to the country is that it is still in the middle of a tussle between different forces. The rule of law is absent, and as a consequence, corruption has set in a big manner. For example, there are these Badakhshan mines, which are rich with mineral resources. However, whatever is extracted from these mines doesn't go to the ordinary person. Very little of it is given for the development and progress of the country, the infrastructure, and the betterment of the life of the common man. Most of it, the resources, they go to armed groups and to strong men. This obviously is unfair. That's what corruption is all about. But that is what is happening in Afghanistan. There is this rule of this phenomenon of graft that you see in Afghanistan, which is actually an expression which means that what was meant for some people, some group, is actually given to another group. Like it is done in the medical science. You graft some part of an individual's body and put it on the other, on somebody else's. Likewise, the revenues, the resources that were meant for the nation are grafted to benefit only a few. And this is happening on a regular basis. There is illegal land transfer, which is commonplace. Why? Because in order for land to belong to a certain individual, you have to have a law, you have to have records, you have to have confidence in the system. But if the system is shaky and there is no information which is reliable, then land is transferred from a person who legitimately owned it to others who didn't own it. Because they are powerful or they gave bribe to the officials, it is transferred. So it has been remarked in one of the articles of New York Times, corruption can no longer be described as a cancer on the system. It is the system itself. That is, if you describe the system of Afghanistan, the author of the article says the system is corruption. And this is because there is no real rule of law. There are groups and parties which have divided the administration of the country between themselves, fighting with each other. There is large-scale loss of life and property, and the country, as a result, is rife with corruption, and the future seems to be also bleak because there is no clear solution to the problem of corruption or to the problem of administration, which is seriously threatened by different forces which can be seen to be implemented in the near future.